Well, Jeff Deal, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good, man. So I understand we've got 10 minutes to talk energy conservation in the house.
That's right.
And how we can help lessen our footprint and decrease the need for very environmentally unsound energy mining practices. So let's jump right into it, Benji. So I'm washing dishes right now, as you can see. So here's my sink. I've got a low flow faucet right here, so it can go between streams and just a stream. And
how much was it?
Spray and this was 12 bucks. So I'm using this stainless steel bowl here. Stainless steel is what they use in a lot of like industrial food production facilities because it's very hard for pathogens to start growing on this, and like plastic and some other things. So I can use less water there, less hot water. I've insulated all my hot water pipes underneath the house, and I've just got a hot water heating jacket to put on my hot water heater as well, because one of the biggest wastes of electricity in the home, or biggest uses of electricity in the home, is heating water. It's the most inefficient use of electricity. So if you can use less hot water, especially if it's heated by electricity, you're doing a lot better. So let's come on. I'm going to show you my alcohol stove. This is another way you can decrease your electricity consumption. This is actually a nautical alcohol stove. It's used on sailboats. It's meant to be dropped into a counter. But here's the burner. You flip it up to refuel it. There's the canister there, and the canister sits on this little spring action. So like on a boat, you get a little bit of movement, and it's filled with fleece here, so that the alcohol doesn't spill out. And you can put about a quart in there, and that'll last about 6 to 8 hours. So again, electricity to generate heat is one of the worst uses of electricity. So if you can not cook or heat water with electricity and rather use like an alcohol stove, that's a lot better. Also, microwaves use a lot less power than an oven, and you need to run them. You don't need to run them as long typically as an oven, so that's a good thing. Here in the fridge, we've got some what's called thermal ballast. So the motor's on right now, but what happens is all these water bottles you see here in the back and the beer basically help to stabilize the temperature of the refrigerator. So what happens is when you open the door, a lot of the cold air will rush out, but when you close it again, because water doesn't change temperature readily, it's still at the temperature it was before you opened the door.
It has a high thermal mass.
It has a high thermal mass, so it'll help your refrigerator recover the temperature quickly. So what else have we got here? Okay, of course, compact fluorescence. This is a 13-watt compact fluorescent bulb that uses about less than a quarter of the energy of a comparable 60-watt bulb. So this uses 4 times less power. It's like paying 4 times less for your electricity for lighting if you use a bulb like that. And of course, you use 4 times less electricity. So we moved away from the electric baseboard heat as well, and we got this. This is a kerosene monitor heater. So again, the worst use of electricity is producing heat. So anytime you can use, solar or some other fuel source like kerosene for producing heat, it's a lot more efficient. So entertainment center, what we've got here, these speakers. It's a 3-piece speaker system. They're 12 watts, so that was a 13-watt compact bulb we just saw, and they don't use a lot of power, but they sound pretty good. This is a laptop computer. This guy pulls out the most, about 65 watts, so about 5 watts more than a traditional 60-watt bulb. So that's a lot more friendly with respect to electricity usage. And then, of course, the coup de grace of the entertainment center would not be complete without the LED projector. This is a 1-pound LED projector. It can put a screen on that wall that's about 6 feet wide and about 7 feet tall. It uses about 30 watts of energy, so about half as much as a traditional 60-watt bulb. So that'll save you a lot of power and save a lot of mountaintop from being removed.
All right.
So let's. This is very important too. These power strips here, you can kick them on and off. These transformers turn AC power into DC power for a lot of like electronics. So if you plug them in, they're on all the time using power. So if you put them on a power strip and you can turn the power strip on and off, then you can stop them from using power when your device isn't being used by you. So if you walk out of the house and this is plugged into the outlet, you don't have your stereo on, but this guy's still using power, so very important here. Okay, we'll go into the bathroom and take a look at some of the, again, well, looks like we have a light out in the bathroom.
Turn on your lamp.
Yeah, we can turn on the oil lamp. Thank you, Benji. An excellent point. So we'll see the low flow shower head by lamplight. So this is a low flow shower head. It uses 1.2 gallons of hot water when you've got it at full blast. So if you
Per minute?
Per minute, yeah, it's 1.2 gallons per minute. Yep, and so if you actually, it's stainless steel, so it's a really nice fixture. But if you can actually turn the water pressure down and use a little less than that. So again, you know, talking about heating hot water, it's very hard to heat water with electricity. It takes a lot of electricity. Most electric hot water heaters have like a 4,000 watt element. So you know, you can use a lot of electricity with an electric water heater. So low flow shower heads are your friend in conserving electricity. All right, so let's go take a look at some other energy conservation accoutrements here in the master boudoir. So here in the closet, I've got some pieces from my soon-to-be electric Vanagon. I'm taking out the internal combustion engine and replacing it with an electric propulsion system. So that's kind of ongoing. That'll be on YouTube at some point, but not now. But those are the parts and pieces for the DC-DC converter. I've got the motor controller there, and then a lot of other supporting wiring infrastructure there as well.
Doesn't look like very much down there. Just doesn't seem like it'd be too hard.
It's not. It's really not. It's a much simpler system, an electric car, than an internal combustion engine. You don't need a radiator. You don't need a starter. You don't need an alternator. You know, you don't need an exhaust system. You just don't need any of that stuff, because it's just a much better way to propel yourself down the highway. This is the Heat Pal 5100. This is an alcohol heater that's made for sailboats. Alcohol is a prevalent fuel on sailboats because it doesn't catch fire. Well, it does catch fire. It can be put out with water. Once alcohol goes below 70% alcohol, it doesn't burn anymore. So you can just pour water onto alcohol and extinguish the flame, literally. So this is a heater. It's a lot like the stove, but it's got the same little fuel element. This goes over the top, and you just light it up, and that'll heat a space about like this pretty well.
Great.
So. All right.
What else we got, Jeff?
Well, let's go back into the bathroom and touch on some things. So using less, obviously, that's where you start before you get into your PV, your wind power, your photovoltaics, and your wind power and all that. So here's another good use of alcohol. You can actually use it as deodorant. You can just rub it under your arms and kill a lot of the odor-causing bacteria, as they like to say in the advertisements. And you don't have as much. Typically, you can get about 16 ounces of alcohol, which you can also use for, it's multi-purpose. You can use it for cleaning, like Venetian blinds. It'll take the dust right off of them. And you can also recycle the bottles. They usually come in 1 and 2 plastic bottles, so it's much more recyclable than a deodorant container traditionally. Let's see. So, I guess that's after that. Here's another little thing. Rooms you're not using, so I'm kind of the only one here in this house now. So this whole room is not even heated. I just have the door shut and got the storm windows down. And I need to get some curtains for those windows. So with the storm windows and the glass on the windows, that'll give me 2 layers of protection from the outside. And then curtains over that will decrease the loss of heat in the wintertime.
Add a little bit of resistance to radiative heat through the window, and also add an air layer, right?
Exactly, that's right. The windows are a radiator. The colder air out, heat goes from high temperatures to regions of lower temperatures, so it hits the cold glass and moves outside of the house, which is where you don't want it in the wintertime.
Very good.
All right, let's see what else we might have here. So we hit the lights. Well, another thing, daylighting, which is real good. You can just open the blinds rather than turning on all the lights. As you can see, we have a pretty good daylighting resource in this house. A lot of window, which you do have to insulate with curtains in the winter, but yeah.
All right.
So the other thing I've just done is bought a motorcycle, which gets 50 to 75 miles to the gallon, and I can actually run it just by changing the carburation totally on alcohol, which people have been cooking up in their backyards for thousands of years. So there's another little thing you might want to consider, is taking a look at ethanol and how it can benefit your travel.
Great. Well, Jeff, thanks for the tour around your house, man. That's incredible. It didn't take very long to look at a lot of different ways to save energy.
Yeah, definitely.
So, thank you.
All right.